everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing really well. My name is Hannah and I am an author from the south of England. Today's video is all about my debut novel and what lessons I learned self-publishing back in 2019. First up, apologies if this is really dark. I'm really struggling with light at the minute. Kind of the curse of living in the world's most overcast country, so I hope this is okay. I've tried to warm it up a bit, such as being in England. Before we get started on today's video, I just wanted to mention a giveaway I'm doing with Victoria Wren, who is the author of Wild Spirit, The Curse of Wyn Adler, which is amazing. And if you haven't already watched my review, go and do that because it's a really great book. We're doing a giveaway over on Instagram, so I will link that down below if you want to go check it out. You just have to subscribe to our newsletters, and yeah, be in with a chance of winning a signed copy of number 47 and a signed copy of Wild Spirit. So it struck me the other day that I have been on YouTube now for maybe around a year and a half, maybe just over a year and a half, and I haven't really spoken about my debut novel at all. So here it is. I wrote and self-published number 47 back in 2019, a few months before joining YouTube and authortube. When I first joined, I felt I couldn't really speak about number 47 because I didn't want to basically make a platform to just sell. I wanted to make genuine connections on here, I wanted to make genuine friends and meet other authors and writers and creatives, and that's not really what I wanted from YouTube. And I also really didn't want to look like one of those channels that just made a channel to try and sell stuff. And once I felt like I was in a position where I had built a small audience and made some genuine friends and connections, I felt like it was too late to really talk about something I did like 2 years ago. So I guess I've just never really spoken about it. Thinking about that now seems really stupid. I wrote and published number 47 in around a year and a half. That was from the conception of the first idea to holding the physical product in my hands and throwing a book launch at a local bar in my hometown. When I started out on trying to write this, I did not really know a thing about anything. I didn't really know a huge amount about writing or like the science behind it and formulas and structures. I definitely did not know anything about self-publishing, and though I know a few things about marketing, I didn't really have a clue about marketing myself or how to go about doing that. So the other day I shoved a quick poll up on my Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, the handle is down here somewhere, or it's in the description. Yeah, I put a quick poll up to see if anyone would be interested in seeing some videos about number 47, and to be honest I was quite blown away by the response on that, and by the number of people that really message me and genuinely want to hear about the process of publishing. So yeah, here we are. I figured I would do a few videos or else I could just talk for ages on this subject. So I'm going to do at least 3. This one is going to be all about the lessons I learned whilst writing and publishing number 47. I'm then going to do another video about what I'm going to do differently off the back of having learnt those lessons when publishing One Road In. And then I'd love to do an AMA, so an Ask Me Anything, about number 47. That could be literally anything. So questions about the characters, about the story, about how I went about publishing, about cover design, about marketing, literally anything. So if you have any questions, anything at all, stick it in the comments below and I'll put that in a future video. So without further ado, these are the top 5 things I learned self-publishing my debut novel number 47. These are in no particular order because I couldn't really order them, so it's just 5 things. First up, freelance platforms are your friend, but use them wisely. It's not too often that you'll hear someone is self-publishing a novel and they have a huge old pot of money just sat there waiting for them to throw it at a professional cover designer or a really high-end editor. And I definitely did not have that big pot of money when I published number 47. So one of the things I really wanted to do was make sure that the book looked professional, looked almost traditionally published in a way, and yeah, I wanted to get those services for as good a price as I could find, which led me to Fiverr. It goes without saying that this video is not sponsored by Fiverr. That would be mad. But yeah, I definitely relied on Fiverr for a lot of things for number 47, and I think that freelance platforms, whether that's Fiverr or Upwork or AnyTask or literally any of them, if you use them wisely and use them to your advantage, they're just such good resources. So I used Fiverr for both my cover design and editing. Cover design, I actually get quite a lot of really positive comments about. I was really happy with the cover design for this. There are a few things I would do differently now, but that's for another video. But yeah, overall I was really impressed with the creative I used for the cover. I'm going to leave her link in the description below. but I don't believe that she has any social media, so you just have to go to her Fiverr link to see her portfolio if you're interested. I would definitely recommend her. So yeah, cover design, 100% recommend. The designer I actually used on Fiverr also was recommended to me by another author called Sean Stone, who he also had a really good experience with her, so it was a no-brainer to use her. With editing, I had a little bit of a different experience. I would say overall it was still very positive, but I fear that the person I used through Fiverr maybe sort of played up their skill set a little bit. So when I passed through the novel again before actually hitting publish on KDP, I did find numerous mistakes. So I'm really glad that I read through it again. But developmentally wise, the comments I got from the editor were really good. I fear they were probably just very young, and everyone has to start somewhere, so I'm still really glad that I used her. So yeah, Freelance Platforms, definitely good if you're looking for services at a lower cost than you probably would normally pay, but just make sure that you read reviews, look at their portfolios, be sure to have a bit of a rummage, because you know, at the end of the day, it's your final product and you want to make sure it's exactly how you want it. The second thing I learned writing and publishing number 47 is I am the kind of person that needs deadlines, and I need to tell absolutely everyone I know about those deadlines. It's definitely not the first time I've mentioned this on this channel. This is why I tell everyone One Road In will be out this summer, because if I don't say that, then it won't be out this summer. I need to be held accountable because I'm a classic procrastinator. And I'm a little bit of a perfectionist too, so I kind of feel like nothing will ever be done unless I put that very public deadline out there. That really helps me. I'm not sure if it's the sort of thing that would help everyone, but yeah, if you're struggling to maybe finish what you're doing or recognise when it is finished, maybe just shout about your deadlines. Third lesson I learnt from writing and publishing number 47 is that reviews are literally like gold dust. I did not realise at the beginning of my writing journey just how important reviews were. Especially to a self-published or indie author, reviews are literally your way of kind of getting that mark of approval from readers, so other readers can see that other readers like your work and therefore other readers will buy it. It's a bit of a chicken and egg situation, which is why ARC readers are so important. I did not have ARC readers for number 47 because I did not know they were a thing. I was not involved in authortube before writing number 47 and publishing it. I was not involved in authors of Instagram, whatever. I honestly had no real presence online when I first published, so I didn't know half of these things, and I'm really glad I know them now. So number 47 does have just over 50 reviews on Amazon now, and they average around 4.7 stars, so, you know, weird flex. Not tooting my own horn or anything, but it has taken like a year and a half to get there, whereas ARC reviews would have, you know, excelled that, and yeah, they are a really sensible thing to look into. So keep that in mind for future books. The fourth thing I learnt writing number 47 is that if you have a weakness and you can see that weakness in your writing, focus on it and squash it. For me, something I used to struggle with when writing was dialogue. I don't really know why, because thinking about it, you just write dialogue how you hear it and how you speak it every day, so if it comes naturally, then it should be fine. But I don't know if it's because number 47 only really has 2 characters that I felt like I really had to drill down to their voices, and that put a lot of pressure on the dialogue. But I really struggled writing dialogue for number 47, and I left it until basically last, which was exactly the wrong thing to do because it made the last couple of months of editing absolutely hellish. However, now that I kind of highlighted to myself that I struggle with dialogue, I've written a huge amount of short stories since then, a couple of longer pieces, and One Road In is bursting with dialogue because there are so many characters in it. So my advice is, if you can spot not a problem, but if you can spot a weakness or something you're not confident in your writing, really focus on it and practice it until it's not a problem anymore. The fifth and final thing I learned whilst writing number 47 is I quite often focus on very small details, and I need to remind myself to pull back from the smaller details and take a look at the bigger picture. I still do that with my writing now. I like to think I'm a very sensory author, so I like to consider smells and tastes and light and what people, not just what people can see and hear, but what like literal textures they're feeling, and I just like to kind of create a really well-rounded sensory experience, which is fine, but it can get overwhelming. And quite often I over-describe, so I have to pull that back though I over-describe and I underwrite somehow. So that was a big lesson for me in number 47. A lot of the feedback I've got in reviews, though it's been positive, do mention that I focus on small details, so it's something I'm hyper aware of now. So lesson learned, always pull back and remember the bigger picture. Okay, so those are the 5 main things I learned whilst writing and self-publishing number 47. There'll be another video in a couple of weeks' time about what I'm going to do differently for One Road In, and I would really like to talk more about what number 47 is actually about, but I don't really know how to do that in a video, so I will think about that and then come back to it. Unless, what I'm hoping is if I do this AMA video, so the Ask Me Anything video, if I do that, enough people will ask, what's number 47 about? And then I can just answer it in there. So if you have any questions for that, stick them in the comments below and I will put them in a future video. So that's it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up. Apparently that does a thing with the YouTube algorithm or whatnot, so please do that so that more people see my content. And yeah, if you liked it, please do feel free to subscribe. And I will see you next week with another video.